I don't know what else to introduce myself as.
Vice President of Inland Oasis.
I am the Vice President currently of Inland Oasis. So we are going to actually start with an opening prayer from Deacon Diane Lowe here. And then anybody, if you want to share your story with everybody, you are more than welcome to come up and take the microphone at that time. Don't rush, just one at a time. So at this time, I want to go ahead and give this over.
Before I offer this opening prayer, I want to tell you a short story. My partner and I were together for 21 years. In 1993, we couldn't be out in the workplace. We couldn't be out anywhere, really, but it was our gay and lesbian friends who came together and gave us what we called a holy union. In 2001, when the Episcopal Church said it was okay, we had a bishop's blessing, but again, no marriage. In 2008, during that window of opportunity, we traveled to San Francisco in the Great Rotunda and were married. But it wasn't valid in Washington. And then in 2012, with the referendum, we got married again. So I am here today as a lesbian, clergy, member of the Episcopal Church, dropping all those labels. We are friends gathered, and I would respectfully request Governor Otter to respect the dignity of every human being. Gays, lesbians, straight, bisexual, transgender, whatever we are, us. Lord, we gather as friends, and we thank you for your friendship with us. Let this evening proceed as a loud and clear message to the politicians, to the judiciary, to the administrative branch of the state, that we might share in all human rights. Amen.
Kathy Sprague. I'm a local business owner. My partner Tabitha and I have been together for 24 years. We had a ceremony after we've been dating for about 13 months. Our friends gathered, everyone signed our faux wedding certificate. It was a beautiful ceremony. We have always conducted ourselves as we are a married couple. Just a few years ago, we celebrated our 20th anniversary, and we really didn't believe that we could get married in Idaho in our lifetime. But we decided that we would hold out. We would not go to Washington. We would not go to any other state. We would wait until the day we could marry in Latah County, where we live, and we have lived for the majority of both of our lives. Today, I thought we could finally get married. It didn't happen. This is ridiculous. This is painful. I feel like a duck on a hot plate. I bounce from one foot to the other. It's on again, it's off again. Butch Otter, you are a cruel and horrible man to me. I don't know why you think this is a good thing to do, why you believe that you are doing the right thing. All I want is the respect of the state, because I have the respect and the love of my friends and my community. My relationship is real. I want that guarantee that if I have to walk into a hospital room, I can make that decision, however painful, for my partner Tabitha. I want to know if anything happens to me, everything I own, everything that we have built together is hers with no question. That is what marriage means. That is the final piece of the puzzle. So Idaho, everyone in this state, every citizen, vote. Make your wishes clear. This is cruelty to deny us that dignity.
Tyler Palmer, local resident. My wife and I own a business here in town. I work here in Moscow. and I'm also the president of a group called the Humanists of the Blues here in Moscow. I identify as a heterosexual male, and this is not a rally that 10 years ago I would have seen myself at. I grew up in a very dogmatic family. I lived in the Salt Lake area and had a lot of prejudices that were ingrained in me from a very young age. And I'm really not proud of some of the behaviors that caused growing up. There's one young man that I went to school with, his name was Peter, and we were pretty merciless just because he was different. And we felt justified. We felt justified in that. We felt like what we were doing was right and it was okay. I served a mission for my church, and during that time there was a young man that I lived with. When we initially met him, we thought, oh, he's gay. But we saw that as such a negative thing that once we got to know him and we liked him, we said, oh, he couldn't be gay because we like him. Because to us those things were mutually exclusive. They couldn't be one and the same. Several events happened in my life that led me to look long and hard at some of those long-held prejudices. And I felt so much remorse for some of the things that I'd done. I sent Peter an email. I was able to find his email address. I felt bad even sending it because I knew it was more about me feeling better about myself, but I had to apologize. And just tell him that I was sorry for what we'd done, and that I was so impressed that he'd made it through that. And he was so gracious, far more gracious than I deserved. He forgave me without thinking twice, and thanked me for an email. His own email made up for years and years and years of abuse. And that was just the kind of person that he was. And I really am glad that I'm here tonight, that I'm able to be here tonight. I'm so impressed by the strength of the LGBTQ community, and I want to continue supporting that. I know that we're winning. The fact that I'm standing here is evidence that minds are going to change. And some of the most dogmatic and prejudiced minds are going to change. And so I support you, Governor Otter. Consider what you're doing. Consider what your children and your grandchildren are going to think of the decisions that you're making right now. And consider all of the residents of the state of Idaho and their human rights. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Rob Rhodes. I've lived here in Moscow since late 2001. Just this last July, I celebrated my 10-year anniversary with my partner Gordon. And you know, being gay, I never had a lot of high hopes for actually being able to get married. But this year has been especially difficult because not once but twice have we had the chance to be legally recognized by our state that we are equal, as the same as everyone else. Not once but twice we've had that ripped out of our grasp by a governor and an attorney general. All I can say is, how dare you try to hide your blatant discrimination behind that you are trying to protect children, that you're trying to protect traditional marriage. How dare you try to use that as a cover for this blatant discrimination of treating people who are different than you as anything less than equal. I have lived in Idaho my entire life and seen how our government is treating us. It is shameful. We should not have to live like this. We should be able to love who we love, and we should not have to edit ourselves just for the sake of some bigoted individual who can't see past his own beliefs. I'm very hopeful that the stay that was issued this morning will quickly be lifted, and that all residents of the state of Idaho will be treated equally, that we are all one and the same. We all deserve to be able to love who we love. Again, I hope to see this state lifted very quickly, because I'm tired of waiting.
My name is Elena Bella-Udraini. I am male to female transgender, and I grew up in Utah, but also have lived in Idaho, and I fought for our United States in the United States Air Force as a resident of the state of Idaho. I recently went through a divorce in the state of Idaho to my ex, who got sole custody of my 5-year-old son. My son has more respect than many politicians and his own mother. His mother refuses to respect me as female, but yet my son will point blank look at his mother and say, "No, you are daddy, she is mommy." At 3 years old, he knew the difference. Let's put this idiocracy aside and allow those that truly do deserve the respect, the equality, that right. I have so many dearly loved family members here in Latah County that they may not be blood family, but they are true family to me. And I love each and every one of those people, and they know who they are. And I'm here tonight in support of them. Now that I am a Washington resident, I will still support all the other states that need to get on board, as well as Washington did.
So this morning, backtrack. My name's Tabitha Simmons. I'm Kathy's partner. We have been together for nearly a quarter of a century. And this morning, I went to the Latah County Courthouse hoping to be married. When I learned that I would not be issued a wedding license, I knew that I must be issued a ballot. I voted today at the courthouse. Anyone can do that. All you need is your driver's license, and if you're not currently registered, a power bill. You can register to vote until the end of this month at the courthouse and cast your ballot right there. If any one of you needs a ride, please contact me on Facebook, at the store, anywhere. I will get you. And I will take you to the courthouse. So that one day, very soon, sooner than any of our legislators would like, we will be able to visit the courthouse again to be married.
Hi everybody, I'm Rebecca Rod and I've lived in Moscow for 30 years. My partner and I, Teresa, have been together almost 23 years. We showed up also this morning at the courthouse expecting to be issued an Idaho marriage license, and it was disappointing to find just a few minutes before we got there that this stay had been issued. I have to say I was halfway expecting something to go wrong. I mean, it just, I feel like the woman that cried wedding. You know, the boy that cried wolf was like, yeah, we're getting married. Teresa and I have actually been married 4 times now in 3 states and had our own wedding ceremony at the Unitarian Church. Some folks will say that gay marriage is not the main issue, but I feel like there's so much invested in this institution in our country that this is important, and I just can't understand why our state can't, realize that this is the way it's going to go. This is going to happen in my lifetime and very shortly. And that's not something I believed back in the 70s when I was in college and falling in love with, my girlfriends and feeling like, gosh, this feels like somebody I want to marry. I mean, this is a dream come true that we've come this far. I can't believe what a beautiful, beautiful state we have here and how backwards the politics are. Teresa and I just went to Boise this last weekend to a PFLAG conference, the Northwest PFLAG conference. The keynote speaker and basically the anchor of the conference was Bishop Gene Robinson. And there were so many things about that conference that moved me. I've been to gay conferences before, but this was a mixture of folks at various levels of acceptance of their children, their parents, but they were all there because they have at least one level of acceptance to bring them there to to try to understand their kids, their parents, whatever, and be on their side. And believe me, I saw many Mormon folks get up and speak at that conference that had their minds changed, like this gentleman that talked a little bit earlier. It was very, very moving experience. I think, as an aside, that we need to start a PFLAG chapter here in Moscow again. I know there's been PFLAG before. So anyway, I guess what I'd like to say is just this has got to happen. We've got to, stop resisting this. We've got to get the folks out of government power that are holding us back, that are holding the straight state back. And so, like Tabitha said, and probably others have said before I got here, it's very important to get out there and vote and to change these things that are happening. Thank you for coming.
So there are a little over 1,100 rights that heterosexual married couples get just by signing that marriage license. The marriage license that Tabitha and Kathy wanted to pick up, that Rebecca and Teresa wanted to pick up, that many of you wanted to pick up this morning. I honestly don't understand Idaho politics. I don't understand how anybody could do what Governor Otter has done, to give this slap to the face to such a large and valued portion of our community. I want you to know that this is not about religion. God loves every single human being, the God of your understanding, whatever word you want to use for that. Each of us are unique. Each of us are beautiful. Each of us are blessed and beloved. And whoever has ever told you otherwise, they're talking out a part of their body that isn't their mouth. So, let's pause for just a moment in silence and offer up our prayers and our hopes for a world that's more just, a world that's more compassionate, a world that's more loving, a state where all forms of love are recognized as holy and sacred and equal. Let's pause for a moment in silence. Join me in singing. This is a very simple song. You'll get the hang of it quickly. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. We're gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere.
you all for coming out tonight. Please, 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 vote, vote, vote.
Bring 10 friends.
And next time, we're going to meet down here in Friendship Square, and it's going to be a celebration. Thank you all.
Center and